Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back here on the bridge, and today, yes, we will be on the Smexy Lexi for a theme build based on the recent reward that we got from the Reflections of Empire event, the Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault Platform. Yes, but Caps, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button to help the video, to help the channel. Also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, that said, here we go. Yes, captains, I got inspired because of this little bad boy here. So what we're going to do in this video is go over the build, weapons, space set, consoles, trade stations, and DOFs, and then take it into a Cure Advance and see how it does. But this is all just for fun. So it also gave us a chance to get back to the Lexington, which is, I think, still one of the smexiest ships in STO. No? Yes? Agree? Caps, if you do, comment below. But anyways, we'll get right into it. So again, it is the Smexy Lexi, the TERRAN Lexington Dreadnought Cruiser, and I did T6X this. At the time, I believe it was only T6Xable, not X2able. But regardless, we have a little bit of extra playroom, so we're going to just take advantage of that. So, starting with the 4 weapons here, we decided to go with as much Agony as we have. So, we have 2 Agony Phaser dual beam banks at the front here. As you can see, rerolled to crit DM damage 4. I just bought these on exchange a long time ago. And we decided to also add the Agony Phaser quad cannons, which comes from the Terran Adamant. So it is just the same, but it's just an Agony flavor. And here's a torpedo that I'm not particularly fond of because it's an energy type, but it's going to fit in with theme here. It's the Agony Phaser Energy Torpedo Launcher, which we got a long time ago from one of the events, the Star Trek Online. So our whole 4 weapons here, Agony, all around. Space set, nothing too different. Our Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector from the Fleet Colony. The prevailing innovative impulse engines from your competition rep. The Tholian Nucleating Warp Core, which we got from the Tholian events. And then to round it off, the Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield from the Discovery rep. Now, our aft weapons is a little different here because we wanted to support what we put in the front. So we'll start with this, the Trilithium Enhanced Omnidirectional Phaser Beam, which we got from the Nexus episode. Continuing with the phaser theme, so that's going to help with the support the dual beam banks at the front there. And then we rounded off with turrets. First turret is the Trilithium Enhanced Phaser turret from the same episode, the Nexus. And both of these will give us a chance for some weapon haste, so that's always good. A regular Advanced Fleet Phaser turret from the Fleet. And then the Advanced Inhibiting Phaser Heavy turret, which we got from the Gamma rep. Now this, as you can see, will be helping our Agony Phaser quad cannons, with the beam helping our dual beam banks, and of course the torpedo. So that's kind of the idea I had going on, and we're going to stick with that. Next up, devices wise, we got the Kobayashi Maru Transponder. For its buff goodness, the Temporal Negotiator to help with our cooldowns. Our Energy Candy for the plus 20% bonus energy weapon damage for 20 seconds, plus 30 Starship Shield Pen for 20 seconds as well. We're going to use the Zinkethi Protomatter Capacitor, which was a reward from the mini episode, Heart of the Matter. Because we can, because with T6Xing, we get an extra device slot. And then we round it off with the Deuterium Surplus, aka Evasive Maneuvers in a can. Consoles. So that's what we did here. To boost our phasers, we use the ISOMAG Plasma distribution manifold for the phasers. We have 4 of those. Since this was an engineering heavy setup, why not? And continue on with some phaser goodness. We have the experimental power redirection. This is from the Excelsior 2, which you can get from your event campaign prize. And as a drop of this video, I already finished that, so some of the captains will be finished with that as well. And highly recommend it because this is a symphony of beam, overload, and thaw. It is a beautiful thing. And it just works well with this build, I think, in my humble opinion. Gives us 19.9% increased energy damage, plus 13.3 Starship Weapon Amplification, which improves our critical hit severity with the weapons. But again, as you can see there, overwhelming area beam attack for 15 seconds, plus 60% energy weapon damage. And it scales with engine, shield, ox power. Swaps randomly between Beam Overload 3 and Fire at Will 3. What more can I say? That's just really cool. Next up, the Custom Power Matrix. This is from the Ilios, which was a winter event ship prize. And this has a lot of buff goodness here, as you can see there. When you toggle it, it gives you 3 buffs. When you toggle all 3, for shield, ox, and engine, plus 20% recharge speed for bridge officer abilities, plus weapon haste, and plus crit severity. As a drop of this video, that thing is not available yet in the Muds market, but probably will be in the future. Next up, the Domino from the Bajoran Interceptor, plus 15% phaser damage, plus 20 act, but we're using it for its clicky as well. For 10 seconds, 25% fire cycle haste for energy weapons, plus 25% bonus all damage, plus 25% recharge speed for bridge officer abilities, plus 100% recharge speed for torpedo weapons. So again, this is kind of synergizing, and I like how it's just come together. And of course, with the time that you use it, you defeat a foe, it adds 2 seconds and stacks up to 10. So pretty good console still. Next up, the Agony redistributor, which is from the Adamant, the Terran Adamant there. This thing has a little bit of a history, but it works still pretty good. I think I was just told by Sora, shout out to Sora, on a recent IC we just did actually before making this video, that this thing hit for like 3.2 mil. So it still hits like a truck. So what does it give us? So passively, plus 10 inertia rating, plus 17.1% flight speed, but as you can see there, Agony Redistributor reapplies portion of damage dealt in area of effect. Each second for up to 12 seconds, amount of hull depleted from target is stored. Each second deals phaser damage equal to 33% of stored value, ignores shields and half resistances. It's up to 10 foes within a 5-click of target foe area. So using different kinds of attacks, each grants plus 10% bonus, faster recharge, and that actually is from a trait which we'll go over in a bit. But as you can see there, it's affecting this as well, which is really good. I like that. And of course, the reason for this is the Agony Torpedo Assault Platform. I like this because passively it does give a plus 15% mine and torpedo damage, plus 15% phaser damage, but what does it do? Deploy Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault Platform. Create an Agony Phaser Torpedo Platform for 35 seconds. I wish it was longer, or until it gets destroyed. Kind of short period of time. So Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault Platform, 7,855.6 phaser damage up to 5 nearby enemies, 20% chance to disable, but has that phaser proc. And then it self-destructs after 5-second cooldown. Countdown, 18,000 kinetic damage, 100% shield penetration up to 5 targets within 3 clicks. So that's why we made this build, and I'm glad because this has been a really fun ship. So there's that, and again, this was the reward from the Reflections of the Empire event that we just recently had on PC, and as a drop of this video will be going to console in the near future. Continue on here, we have the Fleet Power Network Array from the Awani. Gives us +5 max aux and +24.2 Starship Exotic Particle Generator. But we are using it for this: enhance ally and pets they control. So to friend up to 12 pets they control for 35 seconds, which applies to us. In this case, +50% to 125% direction energy weapon fire cycle haste. Cannot go wrong with that. And every 3 seconds, 60% chance to apply one of being overload 1, cannon rapid fire 1, or torpedo high yield / salvo 1. So again, the synergy, love it. I'm loving the synergy of what we had, or have on this build, I should say. And again, you see that text there, using different kinds of attacks. Each grants +10% bonus damage. That is all wrapping up. Thank you to a trait that we'll be going over in a bit here. Next up, the Emulating Phaser Lance, +15% or 15.8% phaser damage, +43.8 Starship Shield Pen. This was from the Deimos Pod Destroyer, one of our first event campaign ships that we got. And I love using it on ships that actually have lances, because the lance that comes with ships can hit the side of a starship sometimes. So this actually makes up for that, and it's a great console regardless. Next, the Dynamic Power Redistributor Module, DPRM, from the prototype Dreadnought, aka Atlas. 11.3 all damage resistance rating, 19% directed energy damage, but for 20 seconds, +40% bonus damage while above 80% hull, 100 +100 bonus damage resistance rating, and +500% hull region. So it's one of my oh crap buttons, and I love it. Still highly recommended for any captain to get, and again, you can get that from your event campaign. And the last console, kind of rounding out this whole Agony theme, there is Approaching Agony. I think we bought this on the exchange a long time ago when it first came out. +15% phaser damage, +1.5 critical chance, and Approaching Agony, area of effect, agony phaser damage, creates an Approaching Agony for 50 seconds. Ionic turbulence collapse after 40 seconds, defeats using different kinds of attacks. Again, that little text there is from the trait, and we'll go over that because it's going to be repeating itself here. So Approaching Agony movements, a resistance debuff, chance for hold. Again, see there, 1,268.2 phaser damage every half second. It's a big glob of phaser cloud is what I call it. So there is that. And then of course this does have a hanger, and we're just going to use the Elite Type 7 shuttlecraft pets, which came from the Awani as well. Again, I do have this T6X. Stat wise, that gives us 36.6 crit chance with 150% crit severity. Now my Pendevers are only at 600. I can have it more, but I was doing fine before the cap, and we're still doing fine now. So for now, we're just going to keep it at that. So skills wise, this is what we got going on. I have not changed this in years. I do not plan on changing it in the near future at all, or in the future. So 8 spent in engineering, 10 in psi, and 28 in attack, with our specializations being intel primary and temporal secondary. Now to our traits. So a good day to die. Again, something I just got off the exchange from the Infinity trait boxes. This you can have superior beam training. There's self-modulating fire, again from those Infinity boxes. Same thing with adaptive offense. I'm using superior cannon training. Actually, all of these are from the exchange too as well, for those Infinity boxes. So fragment of AI tech, unconventional systems, Terran targeting systems, intelligent agent attaché, and Z Boimler effect. Now Starship traits, here we go. So the emergency weapon cycle, you get this from the Arbiter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, think so. Been a while. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. The Entwine Tactical Matrices, which is from the Gagarin, so it's going to help go back and forth between FA and torpedo spread. or at least in our case, torpedo spreads, because we have, and you'll see in the stations when we go over that. Withering barrage to extend our cannon scatter volley. Universal designs, and I'm just going to go here quickly to super weapon ingenuity, which increases the duration of beam overload by 5 seconds. Now, all that text that I was going over there when we were going over the initial consoles and stuff is because of this trait, the Eclectic Collector of Armaments. Now, this is from the Shrike, and I think this really pairs well with what we're trying to do here, which is first and foremost having fun, but check it out. Using different kinds of attacks, each grants plus 10% bonus damage and plus 10% faster recharge of capital ship innate weapons for 30 seconds. Applicable weapon types: beams, cannon, torpedoes, capital ship innate weapons, universal consoles, experimental weapons. So all those consoles that we went over and that text was there is getting affected by this trait. And again, this is from the Shrike. So that is pretty awesome. Now this also, you go here, works on dreadnoughts because it's going to help our spinal lance. So it's going to fire a little bit more often, and hopefully 1 out of 2 times it'll hit the target. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's the Starship traits, and for Space Rep is what we got going on. Precision, advanced targeting systems, advanced hull reinforcement for some damage resistance, some survivability, and magnified firepower, and Tyler's duality. We also have this going on too, sometimes the anti-time entanglement singularity. In a pinch, biomechanical shield generator, force challenge, and when I feel like yanking someone behind my ship, tethered non-baryonic asteroid, and refracting Tetryon cascade. Now stations, this is what we decided to do. Left to right, top to bottom, distributed targeting, torpedo spread 2, and cannon scatter volley 2. So when I hit this cannon scatter volley, this will actually give me also torp spread 1. So I'm gonna just close this quickly, and there it is. I get my cannon scatter volley along with torpedo spread. So that's pretty cool and neat. So there's that. Then we have chemosite lace weaponry, attack pattern beta, and beam overload 3. Help it out. Viral impulse burst and override subsystem safeties, emergency powered engines, emergency powered weapons, narrow sensor bands 3, and mixed armaments synergy 3. So when we click this, activating a beam, cannon, mine, or torpedo will cause you to gain a 50% bonus all damage for the other 3 types of weapons. So I hit this, I hit beam overload, it's going to help my cannons and torpedo. I hit this, hit my torpedo, it's going to help my cannons and my beams. So yeah, I think it works well with what we're trying to do here on this build. And lastly, jam targeting sensors. Now we'll go to our dopes. On the ground, we got 2 helping us in space still. Neil Falconer on increased damage versus the Borg, says ground, but it helps in space. Elder Malikatan, space, increased damage versus Zeal. And in the space, this is who we got slotted. So emergency con holographic con officer recharges evasive maneuvers when we hit emergency powered engines. And then we have 3 weapons officer. 1, chance for attacking crit severity buff on firing weapons, a stack I should say. The other one is chance for stacking crit chance. And last one, chance for beam overload to cause all attacks against the target to gain 30% shield pen. Delirine, space, increased damage versus the Berg. And lastly, in projection or projectile weapons officer, chance for attacking crit severity buff on firing projectiles. So this is a mashup of different things going on, and it's been super fun. I have really been having fun. Now, this is the third iteration of the build, and this is actually what I decided to settle on to make this vid, because of all the ideas that were kind of going through my head when we initially made this ship, and I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. So now what we're going to do is head into a Cure Advance, and we're going to go clear the left docking stations. When that is cleared, head over to the right. As we are doing that, clear all the bops, or the Raptors I should say, heading towards the Kang. Clear the right docking station, and then clear the middle, then finish off the TFO. Now I will do my very best to show off the console here, the Deploy Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault Platform. Show what it does, if the target's lived enough, long enough. We'll see. But regardless, it was the reason for this theme build. Now, before we do, we will shout out to my caps here, hanging out with us here in New Romulus. Starting off with Salak, which is Nuclear Triad, Shinen, which is Dwayne, and Lucifer, who is Sora. Shout out to you, my caps, and thank you for hanging out with us. But now we head over, we should leave this first, to a Cure Advance and see how, we know how it does, but we're going to show you, caps, how it does. While that loads up, we'll do this, and we'll take a what? Shelfie, and I'll explain what that is later. But I've been having a lot of fun on the ship, and it's just giving me a reason to go back onto the ship, because Agony is kind of a Terran thing, so why not go back to the actual flagship of the Terrans, at least in Star Trek Online, which is like, who can go wrong with this ship? Like, it's the Odyssey. Oh, shout out to also Thuvia. Gideon. Shout out to Gideon. Hanging out there in, I believe, a D7. But I mean, if you look at the ship, you got the prominent torpedo launcher there, and then the phaser lance. It just makes it look smexy, not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. And I will try to showcase that torpedo platform as best as I can. And we're gonna start off the left side here. Damn, so the platform there. There it is. Hopefully it does its thing. There it is. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Haha. All the torpedo goodness. Okay, now that's clear. Hopefully the platform there will take care of some of the ships there. I will over here clear the holy jeez. Okay. She's working pretty well. Let's clear this still. These Raptors here, slowly heading over to the Kang. See, when you look closely at the turret there with the spirals coming out of it, that is that Gamma turret. And I don't really like it because of that visual, but it does work well. Has a higher DPS than the other turrets that we have rocking. So we'll clear out the right station here. And as you can see, we are kind of like spreading out our buffs here. Oh, okay. Huh. Because we are alone on this map. But I love hearing the beam overload go off anytime I'm on a beam overload build, because they're the best. There's the best. Care of these Negbars first before we take care of the simulator. See, now our lance is back up, which usually is not the case, but because of that trade from the Shrike, it's back up. Okay, this sphere here is. There you go. Now we go here. Assault platform. Phaser lance. And Agony Torps spreads away. Just like that, we are done. It really did. Sorry. That is some good fun right there. That is some good fun right there. Some good agony fun. And it fits the theme of the ship because again, Terran's agony. It works. And there's that blob of phaser cloud I was talking about from the approaching agony. And we're gonna use it again here. Right there, look at that. Big old cloud of phasers. And just like that, oh, that did really good. That did really good. Oh geez, I almost exploded. Oh geez. Alright, well, there's that. We're gonna just sneak over here. Give engineering some time to repair the ship a little bit, because we're gonna take a shelfie. Happens in case you don't know. Shelfies are ship selfies that we love taking, especially on this map, which could be the actual thumbnail. I'm not sure yet, which usually I do make these a thumbnail of the video. I just like the green kind of glow you kind of get here on this map. This might be the one, Cap. That might be the thumbnail right there. But anyways, let's head out here and then drop our final 2 ECs. But as you can see, it did pretty well. Now, I mentioned earlier that we took this into an ISC and it did really well. Now, shout out to our tank captain, who was Salak here, nuclear triad, because we had Salak take some of the threat away from us and allowed us to just fuse away. And with that, we were able to do 600k on this build, which I'm impressed with, because usually on my energy builds, I don't do so well. I do much better on torpedo builds because I feel like I'll have a lot more traits and consoles to support that. But because I think, one, we didn't die, and maybe the addition of the eclectic trait from the Shrike and what we kind of meshed up together in this build, I think that's why we did pretty okay. And really, at the end of the day, Caps, this is all just for fun, and fun I have been having. So again, this build was inspired just because of that reward. As you can see, it does shoot out the torpedoes. I wish they could make it look different, like a little bit more menacing, but it really just is almost unnoticeable on the map. But regardless, we had some fun, guys, and of course we just wanted to share this build with you here on the YouTube bridge. So with that said, that is the video. Do us a favor, hit the like button. Let us know what you think of this. Let me know in the comments if you actually use a torpedo platform that we got from that event and what you thought of it. And of course, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube bridge, and we'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.